Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you the news you need to know. Wednesday, August 21st, 11:30 p.m. Mountain Time 2019. Fraud alert! Last winter's epic snow doesn't erase the West's long-term drought or a shifting climate. Now, according to this article, we're all burning up and droughts are going to continue to get drier, and things are just because it snowed last winter and snow swamp mountains across the U.S. West led to flooding all over. That doesn't mean the drought's over, according to this article, because they said so. In fact, global warming is going to burn you up. Fraud alert. Let's look at the data. Let's start at 2015, where you can see major drought in the entire Southwest, as well as other regions in the U.S. As we hit 2016, the drought alleviates slightly. Let me blow this up. We had this all perfectly set up, but they don't want you to have it set up perfectly so that you can actually see the data. Okay, let's look at it. 2015, 2016, drought is reducing. 2017, almost no drought. Drought picks up in the southeast, but quickly by 2018, the drought is reducing worldwide. And by this year, here's the drought monitor map. There is no drought in the U.S. So what we see here is a 5-year trend of reducing drought that the mainstream claims is not happening. Last winter's epic snow does not erase the long-term drought. Yeah, it's a fraud. Here's the long-term drought that didn't get erased from last year's snow. It got erased from 4 years of continuous cosmic ray flux, eliminating the drought completely. Here's the map released August 15th. The only place that has even moderate drought is up in the Northwest, and that's because they get rain every fucking day. And they're slightly off. Keep calm, it's boom time. Facts ahead. Here it comes. Snow advisory issued for interior Alaska. And the first sentence, one of the hottest summers on record in Alaska, include warnings and advisories for snow. I can't even make it up. It's just so oxymoronic. Severe thunderstorm prompts a series of tornado warnings. Leaves scattered damage in their wake. There's a tree, and it's boom time in Manchester, Connecticut. Heavy winds and afternoon storms took down trees on Pearl Street in Manchester. Yeah, but that's in Connecticut. Can we take the hail down a notch, please? Hail continues to pelt the D.C. area today, and I hope it hits some of those fucking politicians right on the head. Do it now. Do it now. Definitely hail. Holy hail. That's what it looks like. And let's see what they say. Nothing. Hail continues to pelt the D.C. area today. Morning roundup. Thousands of homes lost power in the hailstorm. Holy mackerel. That's a schmally. Look at that little guy. What is that? Is that a snapping turtle? Wow. Around 9,000 homes and businesses lost power in the district and nearby suburbs after a windy deluge of hail and rain thunder on Tuesday evening. If you don't know how to get your kids to school, you may want to try walking them to school. That was the next bullet point. I don't even know if this is an actual article, but let's go to Power Outage US to see the current power outages worldwide. No, actually it's the northern 48. North Kakalaki up to 20,000, Tennessee, you're bumming. Those are the 2 states at risk. We also have Michigan, New York, and Florida following with just under 10,000 in each location. Heat and severe and fire weather are accompanied by the elimination of drought and cooling across the country. But we won't discuss that. We'll discuss the excessive heat warnings persisting across small portions of the desert Southwest in the middle of summer. Can you imagine it's hot in the desert, like Death Valley and stuff? That's unheard of. And there is some slight thunderstorm warnings and watches here throughout southeast Kansas and into your Missouri. Now, here's your heat wave as of right now. But why I'm bringing you over here is because I want to show you some facts. What you're looking at is the GFS 2-meter temperature anomaly. And what this shows is regions above or below average. So you can see the mainstream media is now reporting on the heat wave, which is only really hot in these pink regions, which are just slivers, basically. And the heat wave will, it doesn't continue. Here we are discontinuing the heat wave as over half of the continent is below normal. Here we are right now, today, where we can see most of the country is below average, where record-breaking colds are happening in Nebraska and continuing through the 22nd. And look at the amount of blue versus red. Look at this on the 22nd. The entire country is below normal, but no one's going to report on this. No one's going to report that the average 35% of the country is 12 degrees below normal. That's degrees C. That's a lot of Fahrenheit. That's on the 22nd. Here's the 23rd. Look at these pockets of extreme cold all the way down into Mexico. No one's going to report on this. You're not going to hear a peep tomorrow about the extreme cold coming on the 23rd or any day after that. Here's the 23rd again. Oh my God, look at this. Over 80% of the United States is below normal, up to 16 degrees C below normal. And we can walk it through the 24th. There it is. Below normal in the purple. The 25th, most of the country below normal. Huge swaths at 16 degrees C below normal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 states. 16 degrees C below normal. 11 states. I'm not going to go much further through this model except to show you that the extreme cold does not stop. Here's your August 27th, where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 states showing 16 degrees centigrade below normal on the 27th. I told you it was going to snow on the 28th. It's my birthday. There it is. And these are the facts. The majority of the temperatures are showing temperature anomaly well below normal, not above normal. No matter what they say. I just showed you the models. Smoke from Amazon wildfires plunges Sao Paulo into darkness in the middle of the day. Can you imagine what's happening in that city in the darkness? The largest city in Brazil was plunged into darkness in the middle of the day on Monday after billowing smoke from ongoing wildfires in the Amazon region, combined with a weather pattern called the meridional flow grand solar minimum pattern, creating an ominous dark blanket over the metropolis. Nightmares ensued. 440 billion tons of ice are expected to melt this summer in Greenland, which is normal. But everyone picked up on it. Greenland's summer heat breaks as 440 billion tons of ice expected to disappear. And we made it blue against the gray background to make it really serious. This is where the Earth's refrigerator door is left open, where glaciers dwindle and seas begin to rise. The only problem is that it's not based on any facts, just a fairy tale. Here you can see in the middle of melt-off, we still have 3 weeks until ice grows on Greenland. Ice is growing. That's the blue areas. Yes, we're almost up into mass gain, just a few weeks away. We are in multi-decadal averages as of today, since back to 1981. And they're still printing articles about how sea levels are going to rise because of this drop down here, which, by the way, was due to an error in the recording equipment, not due to facts. And yet the mainstream has yet picked up on that and corrected any one of their 840 sharticles that were all headlines to perpetuate the global warming garbage, which is a complete farce and a lie. Climate is variable. If you don't see that the Greenland ice sheet goes up and down every couple days. And this is not a new effect because of you, by the way. It's called climate. It's the way weather and climate works. It's variable. It's not linear. The only thing linear is in a brain-damaged alarmist's head, and that's the temperature going up, which it only does when the sun rises every day. I guarantee it. Seismic update. No quakes of note. We have some red in the California area scaring the shit out of people. Mary Greeley's reporting on it. Quake of note of the day, 6.0, Western Indian Antarctic Ridge, followed by a 6.0 in another mid-Atlantic ridge in some other region yesterday, proving that the Earth is swelling, growing, enlarging, puffing. Yes, the electricity flows in as a Berkling current into the northern and southern polar regions as aurora borealis. And it's doing something jiggy with the core of the Earth, causing that plasmoid to spin faster or slower or become a bummer in this summer. Yes. Space weather news, huge cosmic ray flux input. Let's open the image and blow your mind. We're blowing it. Are we blowing it? Did we blow it? No, there it is. These spikes of jigginess here on this solar wind speed chart, as well as the plasma density, and this very telling BZ spike up. This is a cosmic ray anomaly which lasted for over 12 hours. Hours of powers in the temperature, speed, density, and hello, BZ. Now, these are times when massive cosmic ray flux is attacking these instruments and making them go haywire. What do you think it's doing to your DNA? Or how about cloud nucleation? Or how about any other thing that you could ever imagine, that you could possibly think of, that you're blaming on chemtrails and the government? Are you psychic? I don't think so. If you still believe in chemtrails, you certainly aren't. Oh my God. Worldwide volcano news update. No quakes of note. Karaminsk, Ibu, and the new unnamed volcano in the Tonga Islands, which is spewing pumice up into the ocean. Come check it out. Submarine eruption identified, according to the weekly report from the Smithsonian. Yeah, we believe them. The recent eruption reported on Fornah's volcano page is from a seamount, which means underwater volcano. Much? Ibu erupting to 8,000 feet. Fuego, Karaminsk, Popo, Dicono, all in the 2,000 foot mark. 20,000. What did I just say? Holy shit. Interstellar iron found in Antarctic snow. Ho, ho, ho. I'm the heat miser, bro. And this means that cosmic catastrophe is proven based on this red line. Atomics, iron 60, 53 ratios for the different target elements, abundances, blippity bloppity blue. Let me break it down. The rare isotope iron 60 is created in massive stellar explosions, which we call plasma discharge effects. And only a very small amount of the isotope reaches the Earth from distant stars. But if it happens right in our ionosphere, then shit tons fall. Research team with significant involvement with the TCU of München has discovered iron 60 in Antarctic snow for the first time ever. Now, according to them, this was deposited 20 million years ago. Whew, what a fairy tale. Repeatability of Professor Robert W. Wood's 1909 experiment on the hypothesis of the greenhouse effect. Now, if you're unaware, the 1909 penny is one of the most desirable in the entire catalog of Lincoln cents, especially the 1909 VDB. But I digress. In the same year, Professor Robert W. Wood basically proved that the idea of greenhouse effect heating a planet is total shite. Now, this was buried by the mainstream until today, as well as the work of Tesla and many others who were literally vilified. Let's not even talk about Velikovsky, because that's in the 40s and the 50s. But I digress. Now, the repeatability of Professor Robert W. Wood's 1909 experiment has been so eloquently repeated and checked that I'm going to share you with this 35-page PDF of the data. Now, the premise of the whole thing is simple. Anthropogenic global warming based on greenhouse gases is bullshit. And then through a series of controlled experiments, I, meaning Robert W. Wood, will demonstrate that the warming effect in a real greenhouse is not due to long-wave infrared radiation trapped inside the greenhouse. However, it's due to the blockage of convective heat transfer with the surroundings. In other words, it means it's because there's a good seal on the greenhouse, nothing more. And what you're going to look at here in this 35-page PDF is 6 experiments proving that Dr. Wood was correct. That there is no such thing as anthropogenic global warming or global warming based on greenhouse gases whatsoever, which we've been purporting, as well as others, for years. Because simply, if you look at the variability in the temperature graph from the University of Alabama Huntsville's lower troposphere, you can see variability in the nature of 0.3 to 0.5 degrees C annually, which means there's no linear effect to accumulating CO2 ever whatsoever. And the people that have been duped into this are so brain dead that they're incapable of even thinking logically about the data. And the one reason is because the data has been scrubbed. It's almost impossible to get raw data because in the last 3 years, the powers that be have made it impossible for you to Google this information. It's still there. It's just under layers of bullshit that they've laid upon it on top of tops of bullshit on top of bullshit. It's on purpose. It's because if you're not really motivated to get to the original information, you'll never get there because they don't want you to. Now, the general conclusions of this 1907 experiment, or 1909 actually, when the paper was published, is that the greenhouse effect inside greenhouses is due to the fact that it's blocked off and the heat transfer can't happen, which is not the same as the Earth. The experiment performed by Professor Robert W. Wood in 1909 has been quashed and eliminated from the mainstream. Not only that, our children in public schools, even private schools, are indoctrinated by the textbook industry, which was shut down in the 40s because of the Velikovsky experiment, which actually tried to explain why we're here and why we're having amnesia and why no one's talking about petroglyphs and hidden cities and why we can't even study them and it's illegal. That's because the Smithsonian, the Vatican, and the government are in on it. And they've been hiding this fucking shit from you on purpose. And if you're not pissed and you don't quit your job, light government buildings on fire and fight back, you're a pussy. And I don't even want to know you. That's why I moved to the woods, because I'm not going to be part of that shit. Because I'm just waiting for the grid to fail and you to eat each other and me to be quiet and in harmony with nature. It's going to be quick. It takes less than a few weeks and you'll all be gone. Thank God. The Storm Area 51 event has turned into a marketing stunt, as we knew it would. Now, some prick purported a year ago that we're all going to Area 51 to find the aliens. And he did it as a ruse. And all the sheep gathered like a flock to his event. And the government said, if you come here, we'll kill you. We're going to kill you. We're going to mow you down. And then Burning Man and all the fucking freaks in the left wing, by the way, most of them are, who think that the world is burning up. They're all going to go there and they're going to dance around for the aliens to save us. I'll tell you what's going to happen at this event. People are going to get shot. They're going to get hogtied and they're going to get taken away in vans. It's going to be awesome because I'm not going there. Area 51 events in Nevada prompt emergency crowd planning. Now, if you read some of the reports here coming out from Rachel, Nevada, where the schmucks that running Burning Man have now bastardized the Area 51 event and now taken it over so that naked gypsies can run naked through the woods here, throw up, vomit, and die of heat stroke. There are no services in this area. There are no mini marts. There will be no ice. There are no toilets. So what you're basically going to have is a bunch of left-wing schmucks that live in their daddy's condos, go in the middle of the desert, die of heat stroke, and have no place to shit. Not only that, there's going to be no food or water. And these pricks are so unprepared that it's going to be the debacle of the century. Mark my words. It was organized too quickly by a bunch of short-sighted schmucks that are selling T-shirts, and they don't give a fuck about you or people or humanity or the planet. All they give a fuck about is making a dime off your dumb ass. So what you're going to see here on September 20th is a bunch of rich assholes that are using their trust funds to get out here to starve and shit themselves to death from bad drugs and overpriced pot in the middle of nowhere, and they can go fuck themselves. Hope you all have a good time finding out nothing about yourselves except you're a bunch of sheep that can all say, bah. Here's everything we know so far about Storm Area 51's Alien Stock Festival. It's been hijacked by Burning Man and other schmucks in the left, and they're going to lure you all to the middle of the desert where there are no services, no toilets, no water, no food, no supplies, except for 100 people. So if we get to 1,000 here, there'll be a shortage of 1,000%. So, and the government's going to be there to shake you down. It's going to be horrible. I hope you don't bring weapons. I hope you don't have illegal drugs. Pot's not legal in Nevada, and no other drugs are legal there. This is going to be the biggest shakedown in history. Oh, I can't wait for these fucking schmucks to go out there and realize how unprepared they are. Anyone going to Area 51 to this event can suck it. Period. Even the people that live there. Even the woman that owns the little alien is saying, look, we're going to embrace it for what it is, but it's going to be a shit show. Do not go to this shit show under any and all circumstances. I don't even give a fuck what Rex Bear says. Do not comply. CIA data shows 14-year project on controlling human behavior. If you're just new to this channel and you have no idea where we're coming from, start at the beginning. And we're talking about the facts. Here is a New York Times article, July 21st, 1977, describing what you're living. The CIA conducted a 14-year program to find ways to control human behavior through the use of chemical, biological, and radiological material. Chemical, fluoride in your water, began in 1947. Biological, Lyme disease was accidentally released from Long Island, and many other diseases, including Zika, Ebola, and AIDS, all manufactured at your expense. Radiological, Fukushima much? According to the agency documents made public today by John Marks, a freelance journalist. Now, if you don't know what the hell this release was in 1977, it's because no one is allowed to talk about it. It's called Project MK Ultra. And it's not bullshit. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's a fact. But it's so old that anyone can dupe you into thinking it's a conspiracy theory. MK Ultra was called the CIA Mind Control Program. It's the code name given to the program of experiments on human subjects that include lobotomies and shlobotomies and other shit that you don't want to know about, including 5G and other mind control experiments using electromagnetic radiation, pills and drugs like fluoride, GMOs and the such and the like. Are you picking it up? I just put it down. Check out The Power of Intention, a video I put out about 36 hours ago. I recorded it maybe 3 days ago, and it is probably the most comprehensive piece on the actual facts of my enlightenment. If you want to know how it works on a single individual on Earth, check out the video. I didn't prepare, rehearse, or create any single second of this talk. In fact, what I tried to do was not think about it at all. In the moments before the talk, I smoked a cigarette and was surrounded by friends, and we were just chit-chatting. And right before I walked into the building, I took all of my energy and I prayed to the universe. I said, please, let me give a clear and concise message of what has happened to me over the last 30 years. And that's what I delivered here in this talk. If you want to find out more, I'll link the video below. You want to know more good information, what's coming out, that are actual facts, which have nothing to do with the mainstream dialogue? Subscribe to the Independent Institute. Tell them Diamond sent you, and watch Global Warming, Fact or Fiction with Willie Soon. Check it out. It's an amazing infomentary. And also check out the Institute for Public Affairs and Dr. Jennifer Morohasi's most recent update here, which came, I believe, from the same forum. So, 2 things you got to subscribe and watch. We want you to come over here to the Institute of Public Affairs, watch Jennifer Morohasi's talk, who has been on the show, by the way. We'll get her back on because we want to see what she says about the state of the coral reefs. Come check out my video and come check out the talk with Willie Soon over at Independent Institute. And stick your foot up their ass and say, I would not be here if it wasn't for Diamond. And why don't you have him on the show, you fucking pricks? Do it now. Do a dab. Hope you got something out of the video. Times are changing. The mainstream is completely lying to you. If you spend 5 or 10 minutes, you can immediately figure out the fraud. It's called science, and it's not hard. We just simply look at the facts that the same people are perpetrating. The drought is not ending. It is all your fault. There is no end in sight. Except after the last 5 years, the drought has ended on its own. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance when you are dealing with charlatans, frauds, and liars. Thank you to all our one-time donors for keeping it real. Thank you to all of our subscribers, and thank you to the people who have the balls to share this information with your global warming alarmists so you can stick these facts right up their fucking ass.